The sky was empty when the warning came, no blips, no chatter, just a sudden alert tone that didn't belong at that altitude. The pilot checked his instruments twice. Everything looked normal. Fuel steady, engines stable, weather clear for hundreds of miles. He was flying alone at 47,000 feet, a routine night patrol meant to be quiet and forgettable. Then the radar blinked. One contact appeared directly ahead. No speed data, no altitude change, just a solid presence where there should have been nothing. Before he could report it, the contact disappeared, then reappeared behind him. His neck tightened. Radar lag happens, but not like that. Not instant relocation, not without delay. He rolled slightly to the left. The jet responded cleanly, slicing through the thin air. For a brief moment, the radar was empty again. Then the contact returned, now off his right wing, matching speed perfectly. Still no heat signature. Still no transponder. The pilot felt the first real wave of unease settle into his chest. He called command. No response, not static, not interference, just a dead channel, like someone had unplugged the sky. That's when he saw it. A shape slid into view beneath his wing, barely visible against the darkness. It wasn't reflecting light. It was absorbing it. The stars behind it bent slightly, warped, like they were being pulled inward. No wings, no exhaust, no sound. It moved with him, not chasing, not fleeing, observing. The pilot armed the sensors manually. Infrared showed nothing. Radar refused to lock. Targeting systems flickered, reset, and then shut themselves down without warning. His jet didn't like what it was seeing. A second object appeared above him, then a third. They formed a loose arc around his aircraft, maintaining exact distance, exact angles, like a formation designed by something that understood geometry better than instinct. The cockpit lights dimmed slightly, not a failure, more like a power reallocation. The pilot slowed his breathing. Panic wastes oxygen. Panic kills at altitude. He tested a gentle climb. All three objects adjusted instantly. Not a fraction of a second late. Instant. That's when the vibration started. Low frequency. Deep, not rattling the jet, but passing through it. Through him. It felt like standing too close to a massive engine. Except there was no sound, only pressure. Warning lights bloomed across the cockpit. Flight control assist degraded. Navigation unreliable. Sensor fusion offline. The jet was becoming analog in a digital world. The pilot took manual control, guiding the aircraft by feel, by training, by thousands of hours of muscle memory. He climbed harder, pushing toward thinner air where fewer things were supposed to exist. At 55,000 feet, the sky changed. The stars dimmed, as if a curtain had been drawn across them. Darkness thickened, pressing in from all sides. The horizon curved sharply, unreal and distant. The objects began to glow, not bright, not threatening. Controlled, soft rings of pale light pulsed beneath each one, synchronized like a heartbeat. Shapes formed inside the glow, curved symbols, precise and deliberate. They didn't look random, they looked intentional. The pilot felt a pressure behind his eyes, sharp but focused. His thoughts slowed, stretched, as if time itself had softened around him. His HUD went dark, then the backup display. Then every screen in the cockpit, total blackout. He was flying blind at extreme altitude, surrounded by things that didn't exist on any radar, in air too thin to forgive mistakes. He kept the wings level. He trusted the jet. One of the objects moved closer. It stopped directly in front of his canopy, so close he could see subtle movement beneath its surface. Patterns flowing slowly, like currents under ice. His finger hovered near the trigger. He didn't fire, not because of rules, because something about the moment felt wrong in a way training never prepared him for. This wasn't a fight. It wasn't even a threat. It felt like an examination. The pressure intensified for a brief second, then vanished. The glow faded, the vibration stopped. The cockpit lights snapped back on one by one. Systems rebooted automatically, out of sequence, like they were recovering from a forced shutdown rather than a failure. The objects were gone, no retreat, no acceleration, no trace, gone. The sky returned to normal, stars reappeared. The radio burst back to life as command flooded the channel with confused reports of radar anomalies across multiple sectors. The pilot answered calmly. He reported instrument malfunction and temporary signal loss. Nothing more. As he turned back toward base, something felt off. The jet flew fine, but there was a subtle imbalance, the kind only a pilot notices after years in the same aircraft. On descent, a minor structural alert flashed briefly, then cleared itself. The landing was smooth, too smooth. In the hangar, ground crews inspected the aircraft under harsh white lights. Everything checked out: engines, control surfaces, avionics, until one technician stopped beneath the left intake. He stared, then called someone over. The pilot followed. Pressed into the metal skin was a shallow marking. Perfectly smooth, no burn, no scrape, no deformation around it. A curved symbol, identical to the ones that had glowed beneath the objects. The metal hadn't been damaged. It had been altered, quietly, precisely. The jet was moved into a closed hangar. The pilot was escorted away for debrief. Hours of questions followed. Data analysis, medical checks. Official explanations were prepared before the investigation even finished. Atmospheric interference. Sensor malfunction. Case closed. But later that night, alone in his quarters, the pilot stared at the ceiling, replaying the moment when everything went dark, when firing felt wrong, not dangerous, not forbidden. Wrong because whatever had surrounded him hadn't come to attack. It hadn't come to warn. It had come to look. And that thought stayed with him long after the jet was grounded. Because looking implies interest. And interest implies return. If you want more classified, style jet stories, real aviation mysteries, and encounters that pilots aren't supposed to talk about, stay right here on Jet Clash TV.